Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Heidi from My Reading Life, and I'm here today to film a TBR video for Shorty September. Now, I don't very often do a formal TBR, but because I am really excited to get focused in on short books in the month of September, and hopefully bring my physical TBR down to under 100, that's my goal in the month of September, I thought I would do a TBR showing you all the short books on my physical TBR. So books that I have available to me that would help me meet this goal and also participate in Shorty September. Shorty September is a month-long reading event. It is hosted by Sean and Bert at Pastori Time and Heather at Soggy Expat Book Nerd. And it has been happening for a couple years. I haven't really formally participated in the past because September is typically not a slow month for me. It's usually a busy month for me. Probably will be a busy month for me this year as well, but I'm not going to try to read a book a day or anything like that. I just want to read as many short books as I can during the month. So I will leave links down below for the information for the reading event for Shorty September. There is a really cool zine that Heather created, and there are reading prompts and all this stuff. I'm just trying to read books that are around 200 pages or shorter from my physical shelves. So let's talk about what I have available to me to pick from. So the first thing I have, this is the shortest book on my physical TBR at 81 pages. This is The Hour of the Sun by Clarice Lispector, and this is translated by Benjamin Moser, I believe, from the Portuguese. Yes, by the Portuguese. So Clarice Lispector, classic author. I have read a few of her short stories, but I have not read anything, that's been published in as an individual story. So The Hour of the Sun, looking forward to seeing what this is all about. And plus, I love that cover. Then another very short book under 100 pages is Maud Martha by Gwendolyn Brooks. This was a gift to me last year for my birthday from Britta Bowler. And this, I don't remember what it's about. New York. And I think, 1940s. 1940s. She grows up in Chicago and then dreams of going to New York. So not sure what it's all about, but I am very excited to read it. I know I had put it on my list because Britta read it and really enjoyed it. So we won't get into what all of these books are about. We'll just talk about how short they are. This is another one. This one's about 130 pages, I think. This is The Lonely Londoners by Sam Selvin. This was a gift from Karen at Run Right Reads. And this takes place during the Windrush generation in London, England. So people who had traveled from the Caribbean to live in London after the World War II time period. I've been very interested in this historical time period, and Karen knew that, and she had read and enjoyed this book, so she gifted it to me. So I'm excited to have that one as a possibility for next month. Another translated book, I wanted to get to this one in August and never had a chance to pick it up. This is Elena Knows by Claudia Pinero, translated by Frances Riddle. I believe this is this author Argentinian? Yeah, she's from Argentina. So this is a story about a woman who has Parkinson's disease, I believe, and she's trying to, her daughter has died, and she's trying to find out what has happened to her daughter that caused her to die. So kind of a mystery novel, and I've heard really great things about it. It's been all over BookTube in the last year or so. So hope to really get to that one. That one I think might be the first book I pick up for Shorty September. This is a YA or middle grade book that I picked up about a year ago. This is The Skin I'm In by Sharon G. Flake. This is the 20th anniversary edition. This evidently was quite popular back in when it was first published in the early 2000s, I believe. Yeah, it was originally published in 1998. And the first paperback came out in 2000. And I found this at a Scholastic Book Fair last year. And it's won an award, and it's quite short. It's like 160 pages, but the tite is quite big. So I think that would be a real quick one for Shorty September. This is All Passion Spent by Vita Sackville West. This is another sort of I think this one takes place in the early 1900s. Like, I seem to have a lot of them in this time period, like early 1900s. Ladies, stuff happening with ladies. So I don't know why. I really love this cover. These, who puts these out? These are the Vintage Classics covers, and I think they're really, really cool. So that one is on there. This is a book that Sean the Book Maniac sent to me quite a while ago, and I've been meaning to pick it up. This is The Student by Carrie Fagan. This is a Canadian novel, novella, I should say, because it's only about 178 pages long. And I remember when Sean read this one, the way he talked about it just completely sold me on it. And then he did a giveaway on his channel for this book, and I happened to win it. And very excited, and I'm not going to let another year go by and not have read this book, so I'm definitely hoping to get to that one. I have a modern classic, The Cannery Row by John Steinbeck. I have read and loved many John Steinbeck books, including East of Eden and The Grapes of Wrath and The Pearl. I actually did not like The Red Pony, which I had to read for freshman English class, but I've really been wanting to pick up Cannery Row. Brian over at Bookish read this, I think last year or earlier this year, and talked about it really highly, and it really made me want to pick it up, and I just it has never fit into any of my other reading plans. So this one is high up on the list for me as well. I have A Room with a View by E.M. Forster. I read Howard's End by this author and very much enjoyed it, and I know a lot of people really like E.M. Forster and particularly this book, so I grabbed this. I can't even remember where I found this particular copy of this book, but I get it for super cheap and it's like brand new, so I'm gonna try that one out and see what I think, see if I like it as well as I liked Howard's End. I have Disgrace by J.m Coatsey. This is a book that Doris read back a couple of years ago when South Africa was her like target focus area for the month of January, and then she sent me this copy of the book after she had read it, so because she enjoyed it and thought I would like it as well. And I know it's about a professor who has an affair with one of his students or something like that, so it's quite controversial what happens, and J.m Coatsey is the winner of the Nobel Prize in Literature, so he's quite celebrated author. We shall see. Here is one of the last books remaining on my ancient TBR. This you have seen up here on this stack for a long time. This is Anthony Burgess's A Clockwork Orange. I mean, this is, you know, been around forever. It's a classic, and I have not read it yet, and it is less than 200 pages, so it goes on this list. Hoping to finish that one because then I will be down to just one on the ancient TBR. Here's a book that I've been really looking forward to for a long time, and I kind of kicking myself. This is a really shiny cover. Really kicking myself that I haven't picked this one up yet. This is Indian Horse by Richard Wagamese, and he is a indigenous Canadian. He's an indigenous author who now lives in the country we call Canada, and he this story is about a man who was a hockey player, I think, and then that has fallen apart as, you know, something he can do, and how he deals with that in his Canadian community. So, yeah, I think it's about hockey. Now I'm reading it, and I'm like, maybe it's not about hockey. Might be wrong. It says it's a coming-of-age story. Oh, I see. It's about a young boy who is taken from his family and moved to a boarding home. Why did I think it was about hockey? I don't know why I thought it was about hockey, but it doesn't seem to be about hockey. So it seems to be about a kid who is taken from his family and placed in a boarding home. So it sounds like it's going to be quite dark. But I have heard good things about it, and I've heard excellent things about Richard Wagamese, so I definitely need to read some of his stuff. I have a memoir here. This is the first nonfiction I think that I've talked about. This is You've Changed by Paimo Thetwar, and this is Fake Accents, Feminisms, and Other Comedies from Myanmar. And this I got for like $2 at a used bookstore, and I remember that Jenny had read this one and really liked it, and that made me want to pick it up. So it's a memoir, about 200 pages, and I have let it sit on my shelf for too long. Here is a book that would fit for Straya September, which is the readathon being hosted by Scott over at Gunpowder Fiction and Plot, where you read books by Australian authors. And this is a book by an Australian author. It's, again, a memoir, The Erratics by Vicki, Laveau, Harvey. And this one is about sisters who have to fly home to Canada to take care of elderly parents who have different kinds of illnesses. And the author herself was born in Canada, but now lives in Australia, I believe. And this I've heard tons of really good things about. I've had this copy forever and just have not gotten to it yet. So I really want to get to this one as well. And it would allow me to participate, at least nominally, in the Straya September readathon. I have, this I think is the longest. Yeah, this is the last novel on the list, and this is the longest one that I have on the list. This is actually 250 pages, but I've been wanting to really pick it up because I want to read the books that come after this one in the quartet for, I read, what's the first one called? My Name is Lucy Barton, and liked it. This is Anything is Possible, which is the follow-up to Lucy Barton. And then there's since been 2 more published that have to do with the same characters, and I want to read those as well. So this is, I think, sort of interconnected stories about the town that Lucy Barton is from. So characters in the town that she's from. So I found My Name is Lucy Barton to be a very quick read. So I think even though this one's 250 pages, it would be a fast read. So it's going to stay on the list. And then the last 2 books are 2 graphic novels that I have. First one is 200 pages, and it is a book that was lent to me by a good friend of mine, and I have been meaning to read it and get it back to him. This is Queenie, Godmother of Harlem by Elizabeth Columbia and Aurelie Levy. And this is about a woman who was like a gangster kind of a person, I believe. And you know, being a female and being a gangster type person is very unusual. And I wanted to read this for Black History Month, and I did not get a chance to. And I've heard really good things about this one as well. Belinda over at Belinda's Book Nook read this and really liked it. So, and my friend obviously highly recommended it to me. So I want to get to this one. And then the other graphic novel I have is Abina and the Important Men, A Graphic History by Trevor Getz and Liz Clark. And this is about a woman it's a graphic history based on an 1876 court transcript of a West African woman named Abina who was wrongfully enslaved and took her case to court. So it's like a micro-history of this woman. And my daughter had to read this for a class that she took in college, and this was her textbook for that class. And it has, the graphic novel is only like this first part of the book, like this much of it, and then the rest of this is like the textbook part that they studied for the class. So I just want to read the graphic novel portion of this, and then I will be consider that one complete. So that one stays on the list as well. So those are the books that I have, the short books that I currently have on my physical TBR. I think if I read all of those, that would certainly help me in my goal to get my TBR under 100 books. So that's the plan. We'll see how many of them I can get through. I do plan to also sort of vlog this. So this month I will do more vlog type footage of me as when I get done reading the book. I'll just take short little clips of me talking about each book and then put them together and make vlogs. I won't do daily vlogs, but maybe once or twice a week come out with a vlog of how many books, you know, the books that I've completed up until that point. So expect those from me in the month of September, and let me know in the comments down below if you plan on joining in for Shorty September, and what your goals are with that, if you want to read a book a day or if you're just trying to read as many short books as you can in the month. Be interested to know that. I hope you're all doing well and finding some great books to read. I will talk to you later.